Ferdi Salvador, and welcome to Industry Beacon, where we shine a light on the trailblazers, the disruptors, the titans of industry shaping our future. We're not just talking about success stories, we're diving deep into their hearts and minds to see what drives them. Today, we take a look at how public relations is changing in tune to the fast-paced digital landscape. At the heart of it are PR companies that serves as bridges between their clients and their audience. Their crucial role involves shaping public perception and managing reputation when things don't go as planned. Here with us today to talk about the trends and challenges in the PR industry is Benedict Yalung, CEO of Universal Vision. Good morning, Benedict. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning, Ferdi. Thank you for having me.
Yes, well, the PR world is an interesting world to be part of. But before that, I want to set it up. How did you start?
Well, I started way back in 2000. And then eventually I started as a production company. And then I moved forward in 2014. We opened an advertising agency. And of course, the trend now, digital, and then production. It's like a one-stop shop.
So how did you bridge or how did you transition from production to PR? Because those are two different worlds.
Yeah. Of course, I got good and great creative thinkers. So I hired them. And with our production and with the creative people, so yeah, we came out with an agency na. So digital, kasi right now, clients are looking for a one-stop shop company.
Yes.
They want to talk to someone who can do and produce and do a production.
Yes.
That's how I started.
Yes.
So that was a trend way back 10 years ago.
Yes, we invited you because we want our audience to learn about the PR industry, which is not a common subject on media, because you're normally behind the cameras or behind the scenes of personality and brands, right?
Correct.
So how are you disrupting the PR landscape?
Well, let's put it this way. Becoming like a PR guy for a client or a brand, especially, if it's a brand, we have to understand them first. What story they want us to tell them or to tell the masses. So that's how we started. And then from there, we followed something that a core of the company, that when there's a client, it's either political or corporate. We need to know, is it an old brand or it's a new brand? So because there are two different stories.
Okay.
Old brand, how do you reinvent them? Because social media's out. Every bashers are there. People can judge you right away in a minute.
Yes.
But usually, we have to study that.
But what's the difference between an advertising company and a PR company?
Advertising is mostly focused on the brand. How are you going to bring it out there? PR is more like, how do you tell the story? How are you going to tell them? Which is, who are your target markets? Who are you trying to approach?
But of course, at the high speed, on time, like a real time world of digital platforms, I'm sure you're working overdrive because you got to be on it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So how do you integrate traditional PR and digital PR?
Let's say, digital kasi is by the second. No? Traditional is like you have to wait the next day. Right? Traditional is more on billboards, TV, print. Right? Digital is more fast-paced. So we always use one core and one messaging. But when we put it out there, it has to be one message. Because there are still areas in this country use traditional PR.
Yes.
For example, in the provinces, radio, TV.
Oh, really? Is that you study that?
Yes.
So, for example, you just made mention, in the provinces or not in the metropolis. I'm sure aside from Cebu and Davao and Manila, how do you guys measure traditional PR campaigns versus digital?
Okay, traditional kasi we still use metrics. Traditional, for example, like in radio. Radio in this area is still strong because here are the viewers, listeners, farmers. So they don't have internet.
Yeah.
So we need to reach them pa rin. We still need to reach them no matter what. TV right now, right? TV is still there, but some radio stations around the globe, around the Asia, around the Philippines, around the country, are stronger than before. Because, the other network was gone, so now they
But how do you PR something on radio?
Well, of course, messaging, right approach, and who is your target market. For example, if it's regional, no?
Yes.
Provinces, the message is different. Sometimes they use their dialect,
Yes.
you know, especially if the client or the brand is more for that province, so they have to use their dialect. For example, in Cebu, we have to talk Cebuano, you know, if it's radio. Even on TV, you do advertise on TV, sometimes the dialect should be different, you know. The same kung Cebuano yung dialect, ganun siya.
And on the creative aspect, what's bigger business, PR or ads?
Creative, it depends what the concept is.
Yeah.
Of course, if the concept is really big, there's money there, right? But PR depends which you're going to be target. Who is your target market? It could be big as well,
Right.
especially if it's political or something like that.
Oh, that's interesting. You said political, right?
Yeah.
Do you do strategies for politicians?
Yes, I do.
And how is that? How do you disrupt or deal with PR strategies for politicians? This is an interesting topic for me right now because obviously people are they're filing their certificates of candidacy, and it's not a secret that people need help to PR themselves or to brand themselves,
Yes.
right?
Actually, you know, if I started 2016, I don't know if I can mention the politician, but we started 2016. I made a
Well, of course, I want you to mention the politician, but you might have an NDA. So.
Yeah, I cannot. But I treat my politicians like a brand.
Okay.
I'll see if I mentioned a while ago, if it's an old brand or it's going to be a new brand. Because there are two ways. We need to see emotions on that brand. How do we capture the voters, right? Especially if the brand is kind of popular and there was an issue in the past, and how do you reveal them?
That's so
Yeah.
nice. Okay, so but of course, how do you do that? I mean, how do you manage to move the brand, as you said rather, to something more positive that will, propel them to have a victory?
Okay. Well, I have to use my trade. I have to sit down with the brand first.
Okay.
I have to do a one-on-one with that brand. He has to tell all. From there on, I have to study and do some research. Then AI comes in. We'll do some research. We'll do some studies. And then I'll go back to the brand.
So you've been using AI already?
Yes, we've been using AI.
How long have you been using AI?
Probably since a couple of years. A couple of years already.
Really?
Yeah. So it's data gathering. So you can see the, engagements. You can see everything. And the right tools. We're using right tools for it.
Yeah.
So we use it not only for the politics, but we also use it for brand.
For your corporate
brands.
corporate clients.
Yes.
But how hard is it to manage reputation and shape public perceptions of brands? So we'll talk human and corporate.
Okay, with corporate, it's more easier if you're going to use AI.
Yes.
But with if a person or
A personality, just
personality,
say. Yeah.
by the end of the day, we still need to use emotions. Even the AI is more on data, but to use them for the brand, we will just use it for research. And then, but at the end of the day, it's going to be us, the team, will study it pa rin. No, we need to, because it has to be there should be emotions. Yeah.
Right.
AI doesn't have emotions.
Correct. Like for me, with emotions, if I were to run, and this is not in any way, shape, or form, that's something I'll do. But if I were to run for a barangay captain, let's say, right? How many months do I need to prepare before my actual campaign, when it's legal to campaign?
Okay, at least you need to start at least a year.
12 months.
Yes, 12
That's
months.
it.
But it depends. We need to see first if you're popular before 12 months ago, or you've known, kilala ka na sa area na yan. But if not, if you're nothing coming from nowhere, I think you need a couple of years. But for you're going to run for a barangay captain for a year, you need 1 year. You have to go ground. Not only social media. You have to come up with a strategy. How are they going to welcome you in houses if it's barangay, right?
Yeah.
So barangay to barangay level. And by the way, barangay until now is the strongest, fastest way to be popular. I know some politicians who use barangay levels just to run for
As a platform.
Of course.
Cool. I'm glad that you said that. What's more difficult, LGU campaigns or national campaigns?
Good question.
For you, huh?
For me, local is local.
It's more challenging.
Challenging because
why so?
Because it's head to head. It's barangay. It's tao sa tao. We call it tao sa tao.
Oh, okay.
Because there, for example, in this LGU city, there are 100,000 voters, and there are 4 candidates running for that one position. It's really hard. You're going to be spending more money on that. You know, how are you going to win those barangay people or their constituents? Especially if you are not, if you're challenging the mayor, it's going to be tough. But by the end of the day, they are people who try to challenge the mayor and they win. They win because the popularity's sake, the messaging is important. Messaging is important.
Yes, talking about that. If I were your client and I ask, Benedict, this is my plan. What kind of services do you give me for my political aspirations?
It depends. If it's national, so we have to talk about your profile first. We have to talk about why do you want to run. I'll ask you some questions.
Yeah, okay.
Why do you want to run? What for? Why? Because why do you feel like running? What is it for the country? Because by the end of the day, even if you're just populist, you want to run, I have to ask him, what's your platform?
Yeah.
I
I'm going
need
to
to know
ask
your
you a
platform.
very uncomfortable question, but have you ever refused the candidate?
Yes, a couple of times.
Why?
I hope no one was watching. Are we live? Well, integrity.
Okay, done. I'm sure it's very uncomfortable for you to say integrity, period, full stop, right? And of course, you can't say who they are.
Yes.
But you know what, Benedict, we're going to come back, all right, to the next topic. We're going to take a quick break. Industry Beacon will be right back. Stay with us.
Your newest source of news and information.
That's it?
Follows you everywhere, every day.
Guys, wow.
Oh, man.
On cable and free TV. Online.
He joins us from the Batasan Commercial.
On mobile.
Simulan na natin ang agenda.
This is BNC, and we are everywhere.
Now, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas expects improvements in the country's external payments, leading to a higher surplus. Philippine shares enter bull market territory after surging past the 7,400 level.
Get the latest on the economy and the financial markets, down to each basis point.
Everything is looking good for us. What are your thoughts on this? Given that the tides are changing, how have you revised your target?
Basis Points with Mikey Oreta. Weekdays, 9:30 a.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.
We're back. You're still watching Industry Beacon here on BNC. Let's continue our chat with Benedict Yalung of Universal Vision. So, Benedict, I want to hear, what are your top picks for any campaign you've done, both corporate and other personalities?
Well, probably, so I can mention.
Please, if you don't have an NDA.
Probably with Juan Miguel Zubiri.
Okay, Senator Zubiri.
Yeah, Senator Zubiri. From 2016 till the 2022, we handled him. But coming from 2016, because 2013 he ran, but he didn't make it. But 2016, our target was, how do we rebrand him? How do we come out with the new ideas? That time, 2016, social media was flying high.
Right.
So we had to use that platform. So we made an ideas like, less talk, less mistake kind of thing. And then we had people who he helped talk for him. That's our strategy. He was independent at that time, and then he won. I remember December, he was on the bottom 12. By March, I think he was on top 3. By April, and then the end day, he got on the top 6.
Well, he is a senator currently, but what about the top corporate brand?
Well,
favorite
for me is Villa Escudero.
Okay.
The Escuderos. It's in Tiaong, Quezon. It's a 3-decade plantation resort.
Yes.
They had everything inside the resort. And right now, we are coming out with new campaigns. When they started back in the 80s. Now they're trying to rebrand the resort. One of the owners, one of the patriarch approached me and asked for my help. So we came out with a plan, a campaign plan. That was back in 2023. After the pandemic, their sales was down. They had no direction. They don't know what to do. So when we came out with this campaign, guess what? After 1 year, their sales shoot up 200%. I think.
Let's talk about sales congruent to a PR strategy. How do you measure a success of a campaign or a strategy?
Well,
because they're spending a lot of money on the PR efforts.
Yes.
I mean, of course, they want returns.
Yeah, if we do PR, we will see the success. For digital, you'll see engagements right away.
Yes.
You see people engaging, people are going, people are saying good things if it's a brand, right? Sales, if sales increase, they see that if they have a promo, we do some promo for the corporate, right? So we do something that the sales will increase in this past 6 months. We always tell our clients, it won't work in 1 month. You have to wait for at least 6 months.
So an engagement with a PR company has to be a minimum of 6 months for it to be successful or measurable?
Am I correct? Correct. 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to wait, for a business, no?
Right.
Even for politicos.
Yeah. For example, like, another industry, for example, a construction project or an interior designing project. A fee is a fee, but then on top of that, there's a percentage that some of them, get as part of their service, right? Is it the same for PR?
Yeah, we do. Of course, there's a certain percentage that we get, advertising standard fee. That's what we charge clients. That's how we do it. It's like same industry, almost the same, but you guys, they are in construction. Us is for more in PR.
Right. Dream client?
Corporate?
Any. Corporate, political?
Well, to be honest, our dream came true. Apparently, my company just, we are working for the Department of Tourism. We're handling their integrated marketing campaign for the next 5 years. And we just finished the corporate hero video, a commercial of the Department of Tourism. It was launched a few days ago. And then that's what we're doing now. We're proud of it because it's for our country. So we're doing something for the department, for the president.
What about current challenges in the PR industry?
Fake news.
Fake news.
Yes.
All right. How do you define fake news?
Because it's, that's the thing. Social media is always out there. It's a busy traffic. People listen to fake news sometimes, and it's hard to defend if it's not true.
Okay. Last question for you, Dickie.
Yeah.
What's your biggest mistake?
Going inside politics. handling politicos, but
okay. I didn't see that monkey wrench coming.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying it now because especially if the client is doing well. But because it's hard. It's really hard. Especially 24/7, they call you. Even in the middle of the night. My wife knows that. 3 a.m., this person will call me because...
So your wife has a challenger to the marriage.
Every time campaign is coming, she knows it's coming soon.
She should take a holiday.
Yeah, she's telling me, oh no, here's your phone again. You can't put it on silent. Because they have to call me if they have something.
Yeah, but that's what it takes to be a person on top of the industry.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Benedict, for joining us
Ferdi.
and giving us light on the back end of strategies.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, and that is it for today's show. I'm Ferdi Salvador. Catch the Billionaire News Channel on Free TV Channel 31 and on cable via Cignal Channel 24. Thanks for watching the Billionaire News Channel, always on top.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announces the senatorial slate of the administration coalition for next year's elections. Donald Trump will no longer run in 2028 if he loses to Kamala Harris in November. Two senators nearly coming to blows Tuesday night over a concurrent resolution.
Mai Rodriguez,
sums up the newsfeed for you halfway through the day. Newsfeed at noon on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.